It's been a while.
Hey,
I'm
guys.
hoping this is focused on our faces.
Looks pretty good.
Can you see it? It's not actually focused on our faces
It's
yet.
tracking.
This is, I feel pretty raw doing this right now. It's been a long time. This is still not focused. I'm going to try and get my face on the dot. No, it's running away.
Oh my god.
This is a great start to this episode. Come on, focus.
Clearly, we haven't been doing this for a long time, and we've been pretty lucky to have the confines of being at
You
home.
know what I'm going to do? I'll let you say hello to everyone. So if you're watching this and listening to this is a debacle, but we're back at Victoria Park. So you continue talking to the camera. I'm going to quickly focus on your face so this whole thing is not out of focus.
Yeah, so we're obviously at Victoria Park again, which is great. I think we like filming here because it is a bit of a nice scenery. But at the same time, we obviously are having a few technical difficulties. I don't think we've actually had any episodes without having some sort of struggle. I think most of us
that's
are.
like the best part about this channel and this this podcast. It's like it's always the sort of the fun element, and any mistake's a good mistake, I think.
Yeah, until I think there was one time we recorded a full episode and none of it worked.
That was the one we did at
Waverley Park.
Waverley, we spoke about this whole Euros thing, and then like the Euros, it didn't go ahead. It just it had to wait a couple of weeks, and we had to redo it.
Yes, I remember that. That was actually a really good episode too. Shadow, that didn't go ahead.
It was actually a good episode. It's focused on your face, so you are the center of focus today.
Great.
We're back recording outdoors. I'm really excited. It's been a very long time. A lot of our episodes have been on Zoom, although they have been fun.
Yeah, still good. I think I just prefer in person. It's more authentic.
Yeah, and today's a good day at 30 degrees compared to that first day we did here.
Yeah.
It was like 15? Actually, it was warmish that day.
It was still nice. It was still sunny. I think look, we're pretty lucky every time we've been down here. It's a bit of a weird one too, considering it's pretty early in springtime.
Yes, and it's like 30 today. We are also, how can I say this, like in the middle of sort of announcing that this podcast has been given a bit of a sponsor. So please listen through and don't skip forward. But in the middle of this episode, we have a bit of announcement to make.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's good to have this leveling up to something a little bit more professional and something to have a little bit of a collaboration with a very reputable brand.
I know, and look, I think now with football being in the middle of things, the season here in Australia starting soon, summer starting and getting out of lockdown, everything's looking really positive. I'm really excited.
It is. The football scene's going to be huge, and I think this time of year is exciting for life in general. People starting to switch off from work and enjoy the holiday mode.
100%.
I think it's all sort of come to one sort of point of enjoyment now because out of lockdown, back into freedom, and then the holidays going to be in full swing. Football season's going to be in full swing.
And for those listening to Spotify, can you explain what shirt you're wearing?
Yes, I have a Sampdoria number. I think it's 96. Oh, I really should have confirmed. Yeah. I have way too many Sampdoria shirts at the moment, so I'm actually losing track about which ones are which year.
I'm actually going to be that United fan that has no idea right now.
Oh my God.
But
it's iconic.
This has got Jaap Stam in the back, so I'm thinking 97. Maybe
90.
earlier.
I think it's treble winners, isn't it? 99.
99?
Yeah.
Is it that season? Because he was there for a while, I think.
It was.
But then again, this is a beautiful jersey. I do love this one. My first ever United jersey was this one, but it was fake. It was purchased in Sweden when I was like 7 years old. So don't come at me about the fake shirts. My parents bought that at probably some fake Aldi stores for jerseys. But look, things have been great. I've been loving everything about getting out and being able to enjoy the sun and do what we do best, and that's basically just live our lives now.
That's it.
What's something in football that's hit you recently that that we can bring on the first topic today?
So I guess look, the biggest thing that I've seen, especially in the football scene at the moment, is this. It's almost like a trend of pro players that have recently retired and become coaches, and it's starting to frustrate me a little bit because we're not seeing these like I know we've obviously got a few like the Klopps, the Guardiolas that are still hanging around that have had this, and I know Guardiola still had an amazing career as a player too.
Yeah, big
but
club.
they're not these coaches that have come from nowhere, built themselves up as coaches. Like just like what a player would, right? That you come through the ranks and work yourself into a first team. No one starts from the top, and I think this obsession at the moment with Lampard's, Zidane's, and I know Zidane was very successful.
It's nostalgia coaches.
Yeah, Solskjaer, right, and Gerrard as well. I know Gerrard hasn't really hit that, the Premier League level yet.
He did the best thing about going abroad,
Yeah,
so
and
does Xavi.
Yeah, correct. And to be honest, look, as much as I absolutely adore Xavi as a player, he hasn't got the Barcelona job.
Not yet.
Not confirmed.
Not yet.
So I know Koeman's been sacked at this point. And hopefully that bird's not too loud. But my concern is that there's this weird obsession with getting these icons and bringing them in too soon when they're too green.
Yeah.
I like, and I know probably now, but Maurizio Sarri is probably a really good example, right? Where his career transcended from being like a banker or an accountant all the way through working through the lower ranks of Italian football and then getting himself to the top echelon of Serie A and then obviously Premier League. I know Premier League his stint wasn't overly successful, but I think we need to, or I think as a football community, we need to settle with this whole bringing in this person that's almost unknown just because they're a club legend. I think one, it tarnishes their reputation, and two, they're not ready.
No, I think the not ready part is the main part, similar to this bird not being ready to understand. We're here right now recording an episode. Just give us a couple of minutes. We'll be out of here soon. And I do agree. And like someone from the United background, we look at these coaches like Solskjaer. Like for me, he's needs to be given a chance. Like we look at what Ferguson had when he started his career. He was almost, sacked the first season. And then he went on to be one of the most successful coaches. And again, I think the Premier League level and quality has changed in the past, 30 years. But again, I think in modern day football, we look at these players like Henry's who went to Belgium as an assistant coach. Like, we've got Vieira now at Crystal Palace. Bro, this bird. As annoying. I don't know.
It is. It's not
but
good.
like, that's the thing. Like, we don't see many player sort of transition to coaches be as successful. And I look at coaches like, I forgot his name. This topic again was, give me 2 seconds.
Just knock the window or something. There you go. Gonski. Now you can go talk to his buddy.
No birds were harmed in the process of that filming. I literally just clapped at the bird. So, Peter, don't come at me. I think that's the coach for Fulham, the young guy. And even
Scott Parker.
Yeah, and even the coach at Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's these sort of players that weren't sort of, in the limelight, top sort of 5 clubs players for me that I really respect. And hopefully we get to see. Like, you look at some coaches, the Moyes didn't really have a big career as a footballer. You look at people like Benitez and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They made their name as coaches, I think, more for our generation. But I don't know, like...
I feel like, look, I don't think it matters how good or how bad the player was. Obviously, more often than not, the people that are coaching have been players at some point. And I think professional experience does help that. I just think, I feel like they need to prove themselves as a coach just as much. Purely because they're a good player doesn't mean they deserve to be given a good team in a good league. I think they need to earn it. And, that's why for me, when Chelsea appointed Sarri, I thought that was a great choice. Even Conte worked his way up. I know he obviously played at Juventus and had a great spell there too. Right, so when they appointed Conte and appointed Sarri, there was a bit of an obsession with Italian coaches at the time, and there always has been, I guess.
It always depends on the owners too.
Yeah, correct.
Because you see with Watford and their owners with Venezia as well.
Yeah.
And their sort of obsession with, bringing coaches in from abroad.
Yeah.
He's back. Oh, that was cute.
That's all right.
That was actually so cute, though. He sounds like R2D2. Oh, he brought his friends now.
There's heaps of birds here.
It's literally Maurizio Sarri and Conte right there.
I just think, look, I feel like these coaches, these boards that are selecting these coaches, I feel like there's always better options out there. And I feel like they're looking at the profile of the coach as opposed to like the resume, which, I'd rather see the style of football they're playing or the
DNA in the football. Sort of playing.
Correct. I feel like there's more to it, and I feel like it's almost a bit too simplistic. But this sort of brings back to the question, are the people running the clubs, are they entrepreneurs, are they business people, or are they actually football brains?
Yeah, look, the Glaziers, they could have made a decision with Ole, and, fans would have been, oh my God, yes, finally, no more Ole. But it's hard. See, like, for me, I look at Ole as a player and I respect him. I look at it as a coach and I respect him. But some of the decisions he's made as a coach, I don't agree with. Sometimes, I look at his first 11 and I'm like, there's few players in that sort of situation that could have been done differently by another coach. And then there was this whole conversation of Conte coming to United before he got the job at Tottenham. And there was this talk of him not playing certain players. Like, he'd be a type of coach that would not start players like Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you think about it, like, what player coach, like the ones that we know as, like, say, Vieiras and stuff, like, what kind of DNA would they bring to a club if they went to Arsenal? Would it be too much of a nostalgia? Or would it be purely based on, actual learning of as a coach.
I think I like what Vieira's done. I think we have
We have an intruder
an
here,
intruder.
and I don't think his owner even cares.
It's a giant Labrador.
He's like your dog.
It is. I think I like the Vieira process. I think he's done well. He's plied his trade elsewhere, and now he's coming into the Premier League, but he hasn't jumped straight into Arsenal.
No, he went overseas to MLS.
Yeah, correct. And I know he did. He bought his time there. Whether he's developing, still getting his.
So like Arteta, going from Man City assistant job to Arsenal
Yeah.
was a massive jump for me. So at least Ole went to, he went to Malmö and also went to that not Swansea, the other Welsh team in the Premier League.
It was Swansea, wasn't it?
No, other one.
Oh my God.
The one with the red colour. Come on, Cardiff.
Cardiff, sorry, yes.
Because I remember when he went to Cardiff, he signed a few former United players. He had the one of the Brazilian twins, Fafo. I think it was Fabio. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's for me. Like for me, at least Ole did that time abroad.
Yeah, he
Arteta
still.
just went straight to Arsenal.
But I feel like with Arteta, the reasoning behind that was because Pep was this revolutionary coach,
Yeah.
and Arteta was to be his protege. Right, and I think that was the sort of thinking behind it. Maybe you see a lot of successful teams. There's always like an assistant coach that may be the brains behind the actual method to the madness. Say.
There's that talk about Mike Phelan and Ole.
Yeah, correct. And it makes me wonder if maybe that was the theory with Arteta. Maybe his execution isn't the same. And I think there's a lot of documentaries around Guardiola and Man City and the style of football that they're playing that you can see that a lot of that originates from him. It's not so much from the rest of his team. I'm sure they have a great influence, but I don't think you can. It's hard to pick, right? From the outside looking in, you're not going to know who the real mastermind is.
No, definitely not. Again, I think that's a big conversation about the assistant coaches. You look at who was the coach at Barcelona that was also Jose Mourinho was the assistant, and then Jose now became
Van Gaal.
No, it was not. That's the English guy. Oh, we should have see this. So I told Paul to bring a topic today, and he's gone straight into the first topic that I didn't plan. I kind of wish now because it wasn't Charlton. Who was the coach? The English coach.
English coach at Barcelona.
And he was at Newcastle United as well. And he was like the most regarded coach in football in England. And he went to Barcelona, and Jose Mourinho was his assistant and basically learned his trade. And he based his whole coaching sort of he always when he passed away and all that, Jose's always been sort of attesting his career to him.
Bobby Robson.
Yeah. So that's the scenario for me that I see someone like Jose, who a lot of people probably didn't know his footballing game career.
Yeah.
As a player, but then he learned his trade as an assistant and then took on Inter Milan, he took on Porto, he took on.
But this is the thing,
Chelsea.
Right? He's a perfect example of the type of coach that I feel like these big clubs need to have. He may not have been an amazing player. He obviously still was a good player, but at the same time, he worked his way up through the ranks. He achieved success. Then he achieved a transfer to a big club.
Yeah.
Where he still succeeded. And I feel like that's why. It's because, he's got this style. He's developed himself as a coach. It's exactly the same as being a player. You don't just walk into the first team, even if you're shit. You prove yourself. Regardless of if your dad's Sheikh Mansour or, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
It's how you've built yourself to be there and this type of brand and the type of coach you are, which needs to be the reason why you're selected. Not just because you're an amazing player, because that doesn't translate every single time.
100%. And it's hard now with Jose. His career has gone to a bit of a different situation where a lot of people are claiming him being toxic to the environment. He had this, who was it? Someone on the talkback the other day. I think it was Gary Neville who said, coaches like Jose brought toxicity to Man United.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they need to cleanse out that system. And then Ole come in, and then that's sort of also made a difference. I don't know. I think it's just pure luck sometimes as well. If the right coach comes in at the right time, you got to remember, if what's his name, Ferguson was at his prime now with a club with a team like United now.
Yeah,
it'd be a whole different scenario to the
hugely.
team he had. And that's another thing that the players. Ronaldo at the moment has players like Greenwood, has players like Fred, McTominay, Rashford. And you look at the team that he had at United last time. He had Park Ji-sung, Tevez, he had Rooney, workhorses, yeah? And something Gary Neville said that makes me sort of understand the team that we have now is that everyone wants to be Ronaldo and not help Ronaldo now.
It's interesting. I think a lot of the success comes back to the psychology of the players matching up with the approach of the coach. I know personally, you respond differently to different coaches.
Yeah.
And I think,
It's like us with Sunday League, when a certain coach who comes in and it's like, oh, not this guy.
yeah,
again."
exactly right. And, it might be just that he's got a nature that just clashes with yours. And I feel like players respond from a performance sense too. Because if their mental game is out because they're not vibing with the coach, and that might be a really poor way
Yeah.
to summarize it, but it is. I feel like there's a lot of truth behind the fact that like say someone like Ferguson, right? He by the time he ended his career, he almost didn't need to be a stern coach. Whereas at the start there was a lot of stories about him ripping players a new one in the change rooms. I think by the end there was that much belief in what he knew and what he was going to execute that the players he would have walked in, everything would have been silent.
Did any assistant coach from Ferguson's time become a big coach or even Arsene Wenger?
Oh, to be honest,
See, like this is the thing. Like
I wouldn't have paid attention to it back
so
when we were
like
kids.
we look at the that certain coach, the one I just said.
Arteta.
No, the one at Barcelona, the English one.
Yeah, Bobby Robson.
Bobby Robson,
Yeah.
and how he had Jose now.
Yeah.
I don't think Ferguson or Arsene Wenger had many people. If you know, let us know in the comments below.
Actually, speaking of that, you actually look at. I think Jose Mourinho is a perfect example. He obviously had Van Gaal at Barcelona, Bobby Robson at Barcelona, so he's been like sort of tutored by
The
some
best.
some elite coaches. So I feel like this is the thing. I've said it twice already. I just think you need to buy your time. You need to earn your stripes.
I feel like Arteta would have been a great coach if he had a bit more time abroad.
Yeah.
And we saw that with Vieira, but then he left the City group because, again, I think that's another big DNA in the City football group is that they sign on coaches and they want to educate them to be in the same DNA. And we see that here with Melbourne City with PK and the coach we've had in the past.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think that's the future of football where, a lot of effort's going to be put into coaching because that's the next generation. And who knows? We'll see with Xavi at Barcelona in the future.
Yeah.
Is that a good fit? I don't know. I think personally it might be good because I feel like finally players will play for the coach.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like Koeman, as much as a great player he was, I just don't think he's brought the best out of the players. And I think, again, the board behind him hasn't been supportive. It's been a bit tough.
It is. Look, I don't think doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a bad coach. If they are green, they might be great. Like you can't say Zidane was a bad coach. He won everything there was
but
to
Zidane,
win.
again, another scenario. He had like a good team.
Correct.
He had a great
He walked
team.
into an amazing team.
Can you imagine if he ended up at Watford and tried to coach in that team?
Yeah, it'd be a different ballgame completely. And
He'd probably bring over his sons. He's almost like the French Tony Popovich. Brings his sons everywhere.
yeah, it is. It's a bit of a funny situation. Like I hope Xavi, if he does get the job, I hope he succeeds because great player and he seemed like a humble guy.
And the squad that Barcelona has at the moment is pretty different. And now we're seeing it with injuries to Aguero and a few others.
Yeah.
Is Dembele out yet?
Who knows? I feel like what was the meme the other day? Every time he comes back, Barcelona's got a new coach. So.
Literally new teammates. He's like, "Where's Messi gone? Who's number 10? Who's that?" Yeah.
And then you even look at Tottenham, and how does a coach go from being so well loved? I'm talking about Espirito Santo,
Yeah.
Nuno, so well loved at Wolves, and almost like a revolutionary, spicy flavor type of football. And then now he goes to Tottenham and it just doesn't execute, doesn't translate.
Just didn't want to play for him. Like Kane just did not have a good time under him.
No, and look, Harry Kane's had the transfer rumors.
Yeah,
through
that also could have caused a lot of issues for him mentally.
Yeah, of course. So whether a new coach helps that, I don't know. Is Conte confirmed for Tottenham?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think Romano posted this morning that it's all
Jesus.
good to go. That's going to be massive for Spurs. I think it'll be a great move for them coach-wise. But yeah, Nuno was pretty hard done by. But again, I wouldn't have left Watford, was it? No, Wolves.
Wolves, yeah, Wolves.
I felt so comfortable with him at Wolves. I always looked at Wolves and it was his DNA.
It worked.
The players played for him though, and that's the thing about clubs like
Yeah.
that and coaches like that. If you have the right mix, it's the best combination.
And this is the thing, it's that whole theory about the grass isn't always greener, right? Like,
No.
what's working now might be amazing. Just live it up. And I guess, if you're Nuno, you're looking at this move as it could either transcend but it can transcend his career into being one of the most, well-known or, reputable coaches of all time if he succeeds. He could be that coach that got Tottenham to the Champions League final, all that sort of stuff. Now, but realistically now he's not. And I think you look at Poch. Poch was great from a footballing sense, but he just didn't get the accolades. So he was close, but no cigar, and that was why they moved him on.
Yeah, tough. Hopefully he gets a good career. He'll probably end up at Spain soon. Actually, talking about Spain, what's that coach that Arsenal had? Good evening.
Yeah, Emery.
Emery.
Yeah.
Like he's gone over to Villarreal.
Yeah.
And he's had a great time. But again, that's also the media. I feel like English media scrutinize, like rip apart footballers and coaches so quickly that they don't give them time to breathe.
It is very true. I think, and well, look, we're in Australia, right? So a lot of our media
Is English
is English
still,
driven. Yeah, correct. So we probably don't see as much from Spanish,
around the world.
Italian, French, German than we would,
But it's up
compared
to
to English.
us as the viewers and, us
To engage, yeah.
engager that
Yeah.
wants to read this, This is not a sponsor thing, but I love The Athletic, and I always read all the sort of articles about and certain coaches and players. So, again, it's up to us to make the decision and end. So, let's not bore everyone for 30 minutes. We have one more topic after this, but is there one more thing we have to do between?
There is. We need a brief intermission.
Done. We'll come back. Hello, everyone.
Hey guys.
We have gone into the future, and we are coming at you in a similar location, but a different location. Does that make sense?
It is. It's about 30 meters to the left.
About that. And so as we said and hinted on Twitter, Between Two Shirts is now sponsored. And can you believe that? Someone actually wants to sponsor us?
I know, how crazy. This is it's a good thing for us. I think it's great for a little collaboration for a little crew like us.
I think our wives are finally proud of us, and we're both excited to let you know that Manscaped has now and is sponsoring the BTS boys, and we're so excited.
I think our wives are impressed on multiple levels, actually.
Definitely. So, how do we explain this to you? The Lawnmower 4.0. Support for Between Two Shirts is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off worldwide free shipping with the code BTS20 at manscaped.com.
Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes shaving your favorite time in the bathroom.
I know, it's my favorite time. I'm one of the first people to try the 4.0. I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship, the details, and the 4.0 are next level. I wish I kind of I had that, because I remember a long time ago I had an operation in the Manly regions, and let's just say, first of all, it's not embarrassing to speak about that. So I think health comes first. If you want to check it out and see if you have any, problems in that area, don't be scared. It's not a bad thing. But the doctor did say to me I did a great job down there after my surgery. I kind of wish I had the 4.0, because I reckon I would have done a better job.
That is definitely one thing that I actually noticed using it for the first time. The 4.0 was so easy to use. I was actually really impressed.
Did you use it on your head?
No, not yet. I'm actually due for a head shave, so it'd be a nice and easy one tonight.
Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce the grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys, all my Gascoignes.
This upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4K LED spotlight on and off when needed for more precise shave.
The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 to 4.
Did I mention it was wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer.
This is a problem that I've done, but men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth.
No, especially bearded guys like us. That is a very bad mix of hair. It's time to get your own ball, hair, and body trimmer with Manscaped to make the me time the best time and enhance your confidence with nice, smooth boys.
Get 20% off free shipping with the code BTS20 at Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
And so will your Glenn Johnson.
And your partners. Get 20% off free shipping with the code BTS20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at Manscaped using the code BTS20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job at Manscaped.
I was actually really impressed with the fact that it was waterproof as well. That was kind of fun in the shower. Alex is going to do a live demo right now.
I think the main thing about this sponsorship for us is that we both do use trimmers, and we are both, I think the type of people, when it comes to the trimmers, we make that mistake of using it in our bad regions and then using it on our good regions. So I'm really excited that I can be a part of the family, but also use something and talk about something that I am a part of that sort of community.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good. Like, we're both very hairy men, so I think it's definitely a sponsorship that's played well on our part because it's going to be something that we can definitely vouch for from
Wearing a
genuine
football
sense.
jersey, you need to be aerodynamic,
Oh my God, yes.
And if you're wearing a dry fit advanced shirt or even heat ready from the Adidas spec, I think if you're wearing a Kappa combat version, you definitely need to be trimming your
For
body.
anyone that's wore, I think anything white from Kappa from like the early 2000s, that rug is coming through the top of that.
Like, we're so honoured and thrilled to be a part of the family. Thank you so much for sponsoring us.
Yes, we can't wait.
Make sure you use the code BTS20 at manscaped.com. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So, the next topic, okay? So, everyone has been so negative about the Venezia kits.
Yes, interesting.
You're Sampdoria, I'm Inter Milan. We've both gotten our teams. I know we do, and this is a conversation, I know I ripped 3032 up the other day about him buying other team shirts.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like lately I've had this sort of understanding of why we do that. I would never buy an Arsenal shirt. I would never buy Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, or even AC Milan. But something about Venezia, I just adore. Is there something about Venezia for you?
There is, and I think there's going to be clubs in every league that you kind of, you warm to. I don't think you don't necessarily support them, but I think it's okay to have an affection towards a club. And I think Venezia's got that because of where they're situated. They're in Venice. Every single person that's gone to Italy and holidayed in Venice has this nice sort of memory, right? You associate that with this really cool culture that they've created within the club. All of a sudden, they've got really good kids, and it's like, oh yeah, I'd jump on the Venezia bandwagon. It's like, it reminds me of when I was there on a holiday.
Yeah, and it's also just the culture behind the club. I think for me also, it's the appreciation of football and the sort of culture behind it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, when I played FIFA in Italy, I was always going to a club like Pescara.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the sort of, dolphin logo, the culture behind that. I connected with the community. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. There's a bit of a few players, and I saw Verratti move over, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. So when I came across Venezia, it was one of the Kronos kits that you showed me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I had this appreciation, and Nike kits went big, and then now with the Kappa. But the thing I'm upset about is how people like to shit on football kits too fast.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't want a football kit, don't buy it. If someone buys a kit, don't make them feel bad about it. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about this community. It's just like, why do we have to judge what other people buy?
It's funny that, and I see you see it a lot on Twitter in particular. There's this, I get that, the whole Twitter sphere is people casting opinions on stuff, and it's just going back and forth constantly. But at the same time, these are personal choices that people are making. What you think about it has absolutely nothing to do with them. It's a T-shirt at the end of the day.
It's basically material.
This is not a political influence.
No.
It's not, it's not going to change the world. Look, okay, maybe from a production sense,
from a production sense,
ethically, maybe it could be different.
Ethically,
yeah. But at the same time, if I'm assuming all these people that are casting their opinions and talking to one another are kit collectors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the problem? I feel like we get to this time every single year, and at fourth kits start getting released.
And then people start to make
and people just crack
comments.
the shits. And it's like, who cares? The coolest thing about the fourth, third kits, even the away kit, is that you can support your team in a different way.
Exactly.
Let them do it. It's as simple as that.
I'm not a fan of their away shirt, the blue with the colours. Here we go. A certain
Travis.
Twitter kick collector is back here making some noise. Look, I think the thing that annoyed me the most is people saying, "Oh, the Nike ones were better than the Kappa ones." It's like, who cares?
Yeah, but that's I guess we would say that about other kits we're looking over history, right?
Yeah.
And we say, oh, I love the era at Umbro United, for example.
But that's not my way of saying to someone, don't spend your money on that
No,
kit.
no.
It's
just
more like that's my sort of appreciation.
Yeah, exactly
and I think
right.
the way people were saying the whole Nike thing is because people were posting their kits. So I saw this one photo. Someone had purchased the fourth shirt.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, can't wait for this shirt to come to my house. And the reply was, oh, you're wasting your money. I don't understand the appreciation, or I don't understand the hype. Oh, these are hype kits. Who cares?
There probably are hype kits.
There's people buying the fourth kits for the Puma.
Yeah.
I don't like them, but I'm not going to tell people you've made a bad decision.
Yeah. Well, that's like all these people getting around the Bockham kits, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're not that Like, to be honest, I think they're really fucking ugly shirt, but they're not. It's just a hype thing, right? Like it's pop culture. This is what it is, right? People like it because of what they are. It doesn't matter that it's only temporarily popular. It's popular now because it's popular. Like people like it for whatever reason they want to have, and they can justify it to themselves. That you don't need to cast your opinion and be impressionable on them.
Yeah. It's just, it's a weird community, and I think sometimes people just need to take a step back and realize that we are buying materials with colors and shades and a logo, and end of the day, we're literally just doing something for a bit of fun. The last thing I like to say is like, yeah, cool, home shirt, nice, away shirt, not my favorite, third shirt, pretty average, and then, the away shirt is the fish scale one, the third shirt is the blue one, so I don't like those two. The red one I love. Yeah. The thing, again, this is something that ESPN got called out on, is they shared the 4 kits, but they put a bit of an edit. I don't know if you saw Venezia reply to them and give them a bit of hate for that. I love, as photographers, I love when clubs put a lot of effort, and for me, that's why I love what Venezia is doing at the moment. Yeah. I know they're owned by American company or American owners, and they've really seen the love and appreciation for fashion in Italy, and they've put that within the DNA of the club. Yes. So we see teams like Inter Milan, cutting off, and I see teams like Inter Milan, who I support and love, their social media sucks. Yeah. But as a club, they're beautiful. So I think that's why a lot of us do like Venezia. Yeah,
and honestly, it all comes back to the understanding between the board, the club's history, and then the community that it involves, right? Yeah. So, we mentioned this already when we were talking about coaches, but I think that there needs to be a connection. And there's clubs like Ajax that do it really well. Yeah. They have a great connection with their supporter group. And they do a lot of things for their community that sort of help that. From a kit sense, you look at Venezia, and it's just everything they've done, especially for this 4th kit, but every photo shoot has looked ridiculously good. Amazing.
The styling, amazing.
Perfect. Every kit, as good, bad, or indifferent, they've always tried to put something that pays homage or that shows something about the city. And it's not a bullshit.
The graffiti. That's what I mean.
It's actually genuine, and you can see, right? I know we saw Drake Ramberg post about the Greyhounds the other day. Oh my god, AFC Richmond. Sorry, I was going to say I blanked on the team. And he talks about his concept between like why he put the paw prints with the little like flame jacket through the thing, and that's cool. That's what you want, right? And I feel like everyone forgets about that. Everyone gets so wrapped up in the template kits and doing something out there that's like a funky ass design that yes, okay, it's pretty cool, but it might look great for a season, but it doesn't actually like represent anything. And Venezia do that so well because they find that representation, and they just go with it, and it works so well.
It works so well. And Kappa's done a great job on this. Like, Kappa went with Red Star Paris. I love their Adidas stuff, but their Kappa one's trash. Yeah. And I think this is the end. This is my last thing to say. If you want to buy a shirt, buy a shirt. Don't let others influence you. Yeah. We both have, of course, you sell football shirts, and I talk about football shirts. End of the day, you take our opinions with a small grain of salt. Yeah. Like, don't take it seriously. It is honestly something that no matter what industry you're in or what industry you watch, I'm sure there's different YouTube channels that you watch.
Of course.
Don't take everything seriously. Do everything at your own pace.
I completely agree. I think there's no need to, if you think a kit's great, the amount of times I've had this conversation with mates and they're like, oh, I hate this kit and I love this kit. And it's like, we both have opposite opinions. I actually have a group chat with a few friends, and there's me and one of my mates. We always have contrasting opinions. Yeah. But whether he buys it or not, I don't care. Like, if he enjoys it, great, good on you.
Oh mate, it's like seeing your mate, going out on a date with certain people, and you're like, oh, you're gonna get your heart broken. But like, you don't tell them because you let them make their own decisions, and they learn from their own choices. So if you buy a kit and you don't like it, well, you'll figure out in a couple of months when you resell it.
And then your friend gets married to that person, and then
what are you trying to say, man?
I like your wife. It's actually nice.
But it is what it is. We've got one more topic, and then we'll end it with some of your shirts that you can probably see in the other camera there. What random topic should we speak about? The Venezia was my one, but I already told you about that, and you threw me under the bus with a coaching one. There was the whole conversation about the ownerships and stuff with Wrexham. We don't have to talk too much about it. Yeah. Like, I think personally, I love what Wrexham is doing with, of course, Rob and Ryan Reynolds from, everyone knows Green Lantern or Deadpool, much better. I love their ownership. I don't know if you know much about it, but it's basically just two people who had an interest in putting some money into a club. They bought Wrexham from Wales. They've put a lot of effort. They're in the lower leagues, like I think it's the one before the English leagues. Yep. Their goal is to take them to space, as they said. Apparently, everyone's doing that. Elon Musk,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of fun. They've got TikTok sponsorship. They've got Always Sunny on the back. Then we've got Saudi Arabia and their kingdom buying Newcastle.
Yep.
To me, worst timing because there's no way of doing the global thing that Man City's done. I
Yep.
feel like they're like 5 years behind.
Possibly.
Give us your thoughts on ownerships. Do you think it's a big thing for clubs like Newcastle, or do you think it's a bad thing for people like Saudi Arabia to buy into a football club?
I think,
And these are personal opinions, of course. don't
yeah,
come at
yeah.
us.
Football as a business, the ability to buy and sell players is huge, right? So having that financial backing is going to be massive.
Selling humans for profit?
Quite literally, yeah. Who does that? That's unethical. I think, look, I feel like it's almost destined to be successful regardless. Obviously, they've still got to choose the right coach. They've got to choose the right players. They can't just, go and buy anyone.
Big decisions.
There's still got to be brains behind it. But I think, you look at Galacticos, for example, right? I think that's proof in itself that it can work. But I feel like, say the best Real Madrid era outside of like the 50s
Yeah.
was probably like the early 2000s. And they didn't actually win that much.
No.
They did well and they had a few long runs in the Champions League. And yes, they won a couple of leagues, La Ligas. But they weren't that great. Even you could probably go more recent. You look at City. Yes, City has won a fair bit as well. They've spent a lot of money. They're probably more successful than, I guess, previous years.
I feel like City's been the best ownerships, like come into play, spend
Yeah.
a bit of time building it, and now they're at the peak.
Yeah, I guess Chelsea with Abramovich as well. I know it's a little bit different again.
We forget about Abramovich, the money he brought to Chelsea and how he changed the club.
It was
There's
instant.
no conversation about that at the moment.
Because it's almost like, it was almost 20 years ago that he started that. It was 2003, I think it was.
I feel like his involvement in football is a lot different to what the Newcastle one is. I know they've had issues with Mike Ashley.
Yep.
A lot of ethical talks about the Saudis coming in. Again, these are personal thoughts and there's a lot of conversation. I'm happy for Newcastle fans and for the club because for a club that big, they deserve some sort of love.
Definitely.
I hate Sunderland, so that's one thing I probably connect with the Newcastle fans. I really hope Sunderland never make it to the Championship or let alone the Premier League. I just think if the owners of Newcastle can keep their hands clean and make their football club big again in a sense of like on the footballing stage,
Yeah.
that's good. But I just get really worried when ownerships really get into the sort of the dark areas like the Glazers and
Yeah.
if there's always talk about, spending money here and there but not putting it towards the club. And then we get the situations where, when FC United or Manchester United, the takeaway club with the fans started their own team.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen. We're going to get to a situation in football where so much money is within the game that it's going to basically just implode.
I agree. I think look, there's going to be a flip side to that, and the flip side is that there's going to be the purest version, right? So when the money does implode and the money does either stop or dry up or whatever, there's still going to be the flip side of people wanting to be a part of that club, for the enjoyment, for the love, for the passion, right? And those things are going to fuel people for a long time, regardless, because you can't put a price on that.
No, definitely.
But in saying that, even when there has been, and there's buttloads of money pumped into every single club, especially professionally, there's still been those successful clubs that haven't had the most money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean the most money equals the most success. So I think that's one thing that maybe Newcastle fans need to chill out about for a little bit.
Just because they got a lot of money now doesn't mean they're going to get big into
Yeah,
success.
100%. And look, I hope they do. I hope they do well out of it. I think it's great. But at the same time, yeah, look, you're looking at Wrexham. Wrexham's a bit more. Maybe you know what? Wrexham's still a very much a business-orientated decision. I think you look at like the class of '92 and the club that they've bought.
Salford.
Yeah, it's Salford. I think that's again, they're all business-related decisions because there's all finances involved and whatever. But at the same time, I think it's important to know that when there's that like emotional connection.
Into Miami with Beckham.
Yeah.
And how he's getting sued for using the name Inter, and then there's a lot of ethical things with the money spent there.
Yes, and those Qatari deal.
There's so many weird things happening in football. I think another club that I mentioned before, Watford and Udinese, and like their sort of obsession. Like I was watching Udinese the other day, and Delafeu and a few other Pereira and all these players that played at Watford have just gone over there. And it's crazy when you think about the deals that happen. So that's the thing I always question about. It's like if on the field they're doing good and nothing unethical happens, then I'm pretty happy with the Saudis move.
That's fine, yeah.
But one transfer I'd love to see at Newcastle happen is Harry Kane go there.
Could you
I
imagine?
think that could be like a Shearer moment for him.
I feel like there is this thing about like reincarnation of players. Like the Messi
we spoke about
Maradona.
that, yeah.
The Messi Maradona,
And
the
you think about
Shearer
Shearer
Kane.
and Kane.
Yeah, like Shearer and Kane. I said Shearer and Kane. Shearer and Kane. Yeah, but that would be amazing, and it would be very cool.
This dog's getting in trouble. He's
Yeah,
not
he
paying
is.
attention.
He's
What's the
naughty.
dog's name?
I don't know.
Harry Kane.
Looks a bit more of like a Mbappe type. He's very fast.
He's really fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at him. Take him.
It is very cool. But look, I hope for Newcastle's sake, I think it would be nice to see them level up. I don't think they deserve to be that club fighting for relegation year in, year out. So I think it's nice to get them up into that next year.
Sorry, if you guys can't hear him screaming, he's just screaming at his dog, and dog does not give two shits about him. Stop screaming.
I feel like every time we think that there's someone yelling in the background,
They can't
they can't hear it. Yeah, it's like the mics are great, and then the noise cancellation is even better. Because there was that time there was the siren, remember? The ambulance. Couldn't hear it.
Yeah. Just like, what is happening? Everyone was like, what are you guys talking about? Look, we've had some great conversations today. We could do multiple episodes about this. Let us know in the comments below if you have any specific topics you'd like us to talk about. I'd love to do more episodes. I really want to do a singular sort of individual episodes, like even if you had like a quick 5 seconds to say something, me. Let us know in the comments below. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for always listening and tuning in. We do have a special event coming up if you're from Melbourne, and of course now you can travel to Melbourne unless you're from Perth. No one wants to go to Perth. But what's the date?
17th of December.
We are having a pop-up literally down the road here. Ultra Football is opening up in Melbourne. Yeah, look, we're excited. You're excited. They're excited.
Can't wait. It's going to be an awesome event. So we changed. Obviously, the 17th is a Friday for those of you fishing through your calendars right now. And we know, no, it's not going to be during the day, so you don't have to take the day off work, so don't worry. We wanted to give something back to the football community, and that time of year is obviously a little bit chaotic, and I think it's nice to have something to eat, something to drink after work.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that sort of works in the CBD or thereabouts, Collingwood's not too far from there.
Smack bang.
I think we're gonna
Pasco Vale this time.
Yeah, we're gonna create like a bit of a night market vibe. So I think it's gonna be something fun. I think we're gonna try and get a screen, so we're gonna try and get a game on.
Yeah, we'll have a live podcast happening.
Yeah, a little bit more. So I know a lot of you that came to the first pop up. That was very.
Small.
I think it was very small and very simple.
Good.
I think it was it was a great start and a nice intimate way to connect with the community for us.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a bigger scale event. I think this is definitely something. If you're a football fan, there's gonna be more than just kids there. There's gonna be art. There's gonna be socks. There's gonna be heaps of stuff going on.
But this is just the start of things.
Yeah, exactly right.
The most important part is we are, a part of the Ultra opening. We're so excited to be a part of the Ultra family. Ultra has opened their arms up and let us in. But mainly, the main topic of this mention is that Paul has brought some goodies.
Yes.
Paul, feel free to run over there. You can hold your mic. Don't worry. You can do it like good old Larry Edna. I don't know if everyone remembers him.
Come on down.
Come on down. Show us your kits. You got a few handful.
We do. I'll bring four.
Also, while
is
everyone's watching this, I'm going to give myself a bit of a stretch. My ass cheeks have been sliced in half. I'm hoping this episode really doesn't sound like shit. It's been a really good one. It's been 39 minutes so far.
We're doing well, I think. Look, I've got a lot of shirts ready for this pop-up, and I'm holding out, so apologies for those of you that are fishing online and trying to find some.
One more topic we haven't spoken about.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that next, actually. There's obviously a few that I'm holding out for the event. And I say a few, I think we're talking like close to 200. But, so I said we're going hard, all right? So, and we went really hard from the start. And we know this was a big year for Argentinians, particularly those of you that adored Maradona, obviously with the passing. Yeah, so we've managed to obviously find a really nice Grail piece. Argentina, 1990, Dios.
That's beautiful.
D10.
Material.
Or D10, Dios is probably. Yeah, crazy material, crazy condition, and long sleeve. I am actually I might even keep this one.
Oh my god.
I may even keep this one. We go from probably the best number 10 of all time to probably the best number 9 of all time.
Oof.
We're going with the R9. This actually, I love this Inter kit.
Yeah.
This is.
Hey, I don't have this one. Wait, is there snakeskin on the bottom?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, very cool. I was actually surprised. So when I
Shit.
first bought this, I was like, holy crap. And this is what I think was missing from the current Inter. Feel that texture.
Yeah, wow.
How good does that feel?
And
And
the mesh inside there.
and
The
the
badge is
crest.
the best. Yeah,
the rubberized crest is my favorite. I had an orange.
Something I mentioned in a recent review. You will come out soon.
All right. Well, I guess we're sticking with. There's a bit of a European theme here, actually. We've gone with Maldini. I think it's 90. Oh my god, I'm blanking.
I
97.
really want
Nike
that
era
kit,
wasn't
but I'm
very
not
long.
Italian.
The name's actually the number on that. Feel that. That flock is
Oh.
unreal.
Classic. Did Drake Rambeck design that?
Yes, I think so.
Oof.
Yeah, pretty confident.
Oh, look at this.
And we go hard. This one is absolutely epic. I absolutely
Have you
love.
saw this one?
No, not yet.
This is
All these are going to be released at the pop-up. I think we might have a bit of a grail stand or something, similar to what you had last time. So Eric Cantona, I know it's not name set.
that,
Sorry,
I
it's not
can't
name,
look at
just
that.
the
It's
number.
making me sad.
This is
That's the one
crazy.
thing I would have worn today.
I actually, you know what's funny? I actually have the shorts for this as well.
Oh,
But
I
they,
need a
they,
French
they
kit.
fit quite nicely, so they're not going to be released.
I'm sitting like this. My arse cheeks hurt.
I was getting a
I'm
bit of a
done.
dent.
I went for a run this morning. My arse cheeks hurt. They are amazing. I'm actually really excited for those kids.
Yes.
I do actually. You made me sad now. I really want a Cantona kit.
There's always time, mate. There's always time.
Bring us the last topic, and
Alright.
then so like I said, December 17th, Friday night here in Melbourne at Ultra Football. It's going to be on Gibbs Street in Abbotsford. I'm not going to give the number so you don't rock up and try to jump in. Panenka is opening up the front. A beautiful cafe. If you did visit us at Spade, it's owned by the Sycamore Group. Gary, shout out to you. I know you're not watching this, but if you are, I love you.
Hey,
So
guys.
does Paul. And yeah, the last topic before we let you guys go, and of course, thank you so much for watching. This is beautiful. Tell us about it.
Yes. So obviously, you guys know Into Third from 2019-20.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't released in long sleeve, which was
Wow.
really disappointing for me because this was the perfect way to get that throwback
I'm
straight
fucking
from
jealous now. This is
straight
the
from
first time I've seen it in
Inter
person. I'm gonna hold
'97,
this.
right? You know this era of Inter. Well, the '97 era of Inter was iconic, and it was probably the most iconic Ronaldo shirt, right? That
Bro, get a name set on this straight away.
well, it's the thing. Do you get the new name set, or do you get like an old style?
No, the
or-
one that was released with it, there's still some available.
Yeah, what do we put Lukaku on the back?
This
is the thing.
Lukaku,
Or to put a
100%.
Ronaldo
Number
9.
9. No, don't put Ronaldo.
So I mean, like this is the thing.
Please don't put old players on new shirts or new shirts with that.
Do you remember when we were in Japan and all those people that had Lampard on the current Chelsea shirt because that was his first year as coach?
I made the biggest mistake. I went to Old Trafford a couple of years ago, and I bought the fucking 90 the treble remake shirt thingy, the season kit with the black badge. I had Solskjaer on the back. Why did I do that for? I fucking regret that.
Anyway, I probably should give some background to this. Okay, so obviously this is the long sleeve. The long sleeve does not exist. It was not made for retail. To be honest, I think I may have seen Lautaro wear one once, somewhere along the
Some
lines.
players do get requests and they can make them.
Yeah. Okay. So I reached out to the guys at Unwanted FC.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute legend. I sent him a bit of a mock-up concept kit that I made in Photoshop and with a few ideas and a few little details that we took from the 97 kit.
Yep.
And we sort of worked it with that. So obviously things like the blue detail in the sleeves, which you guys probably can't see too well through this, but
Where did I get the blue sleeves from?
so this was the thing. So we had to piece this together. This was actually from 2 shirts. So I sent them a medium and an XL. The XL was used for the material, and the medium
see
was
it.
used for the shirt. So
The one thing I was worried about is how they're gonna do
the sleeves.
the sleeves, and I can see now it's like camouflage.
Yeah, you can see you can see
feel
where
it.
you can see
You
where the
can't
stitch
see it from
ends.
far.
But yeah, you can't see it from
Colors
far.
are beautiful.
Yeah, and I think this was the thing. I wanted it to look as much like the 97 kit as possible.
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing about this is it's one of one. There's no other ones, I don't think, in the world, unless someone else has gone and tried to do it as well. So do hit up Unwanted because he can do long sleeve conversions now, which is really, really cool.
I'm gonna slide into the DMs tonight.
I think you might have to.
I really want one.
The hardest part
I bought
was
2. I've got 2 dry fit advanced versions.
if you want one long sleeve, there you go.
I spent too much bucks to get a cut. Nah, I'll keep it 2.
That's the thing. Hit him up. Look, I think he did an absolutely amazing job. Like, from afar, this kit needed to be long sleeve.
100%.
Needed to be long sleeve, and it didn't.
Oh, sorry guys about this bird. He's so
Um,
piercing.
So I'm really happy. I'm really pleased with this. I can't wait to do a photo shoot. Now that we're out of lockdown, I think it's going to be one of the first things that I do.
Yeah, 100%.
I may have to wear this to the pop-up, actually.
We may do another episode where we talk about kits that should be long sleeves. But
Yes.
yeah, that's I'm actually really keen to get myself one now.
Yes.
And it's the last jersey with the Pirelli,
Pirelli.
which is insane.
Yes.
The fact that you got that remade like that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we end the episode?
No, I think it's good. I just want to make sure, if you are free, please come down to the pop-up because it's going to be a sick event. I think we're probably going to do like 4 p.m. onwards. So,
Yeah,
if you
same
can get an
for-
early Friday knockoff, we'll probably be there till like 9 or
8:30,
something like that. Yeah.
Why don't you pick us out?
Shoot us a message on socials if you're interested. We can send you some info. Otherwise, we'll have some flyers and stuff out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have some STDs to send your way.
STDs.
Save the dates.
I was like,
You have a
"What?"
dirty mind.
Jesus. Oh, look, the only person out there that needs to be careful of STDs is Paul Scholes.
Yes. Oh, and maybe fungus. That's disgusting.
As always, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow PFC on Instagram and on Twitter. He's the best person on Twitter to follow. Tweets every 6 years. Also, make sure to follow us on Reddit and on Instagram, and we will see you soon.
See you later. Bye, guys.
Stay safe. Stay away from stupid people. Bye. My ass cheeks hurt.